Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest episode of the 2300 Pod. Nate Maxon here with you. My brother Aaron is out there as well. What's up, brother?
Hey.
And of course, ECW's Chad Austin is with us. Chad, welcome back for another episode of the 2300 Pod.
Giddy up.
And this week's episode, we are going to be reviewing... Hey, it's 420. We're going to be recording April 20th, 1993, reviewing that episode of ECW. But before we get into that, as we record here just yesterday, the sudden passing of Joe Laurinaitis, professionally known as Road Warrior Animal, kind of a shock, shocking death there. And I just wanted to get some thoughts from Chad, especially. I'm sure Aaron and I will yammer on the We Can't Wrestle podcast this week about the Road Warrior. But Chad, any thoughts of Animal? Any interaction with him?
Yeah, he's one of them guys that you figure you would always be on a show with. Mm-hmm. You would see him around. You know, it just didn't matter when you saw him last. You know you're going to see him again. Right. You know, and it went on for ages and ages and ages. We brought him in Maryland Championship Wrestling. We brought in both as singles, and then we brought them both in as tags, mm-hmm. Right? And we had this fantastic building. It was like a ballroom kind of thing. And they had like a bridal suite, and Animal and Hawk were up there. And like a lot of guys shared that suite because it had a bathroom in it. Okay. And a lot of the dressing rooms didn't have like the bathrooms in on the upstairs floor. So you walk in and there's freaking Hawk just popping pills nonstop, like legitimately, just unbelievably nonstop. And Animal was completely the opposite. He was trying to get everything together, taking care of the money and all the other stuff. Right. They were getting ready to go to the ring. Like I think it was for the what is the halftime call? Intermission. And mm-hmm. Hawk like fell down like a whole entire flight of steps, and when he landed right in front of the feet of the state athletic commissioner guy.
Great place to land.
No, it wasn't a great place to land if you wanted to wrestle that night. And Animal comes out and says something like, "I tried to tell him," like kind of thing, and like all of us saw it. Mm-hmm. We all saw it, and there was Joe just sitting there going, "Don't you think?" Enough, all whatever words you just say, and he just let it happen. Then he comes out, and there was just a banister there, and he's just like, "I tried to tell him." That's my greatest story. But the other times was just seeing Joe on the independents. You take for granted the times you see him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, like I don't mean to interrupt, but he seemed like a. Obviously, I never met him or anything, but, it's like in life, you can say that, you don't meet a lot of people that you don't hear a lot of people say bad things about, but just through wrestler stories and everything, I never heard anybody
not a one,
like, not badmouth the guy or say anything terrible about him. And it just seems like he was a good dude. And obviously was a great family man and a great father and Godspeed to him.
We have a guy in Baltimore right now, Brian Holhouse. Peace out, buddy. I love you to death. He lives down the road from me. We don't see each other often. And he kind of picks up and takes the WWE superstars who come in for, Maryland Championship Wrestling. Mm-hmm. Like he picks them up from the airport, takes them to the hotel, and, and he's been fortunate enough to be buddies with some of the top guys. Like he's really good friends with Ron Simmons. He's really good friends with Kevin Nash. He's really good friends with said Road Warrior Animal. And like I didn't even bother to look at his page yet, and it's been over a day because I can just imagine. Right. Because I've seen so many pictures with Brian and Animal over the years. I just don't even want to get involved with how devastated he is.
I'm sure, yeah.
But like Ron Simmons gave him his WCW belt.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's how close he is with these. That's how close he gets to these guys, and it's not because he's a mark or anything. It's just that Brian's overall just a good guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't even reached out to him yet. But yeah, but anyway, that's how I feel. Road Warrior Hawk is definitely, I never want to say I'm sorry for anybody's loss, because the last time somebody told me they were sorry for any loss that I had, my niece was murdered a few months ago, and somebody said they were sorry, and I asked, why did you do it? Right. So I never say like I'm sorry for your loss. I'll just send my condolences to the family.
Yes, and like Aaron alluded to, I've never heard in anything I've ever read or seen anything negative about Joe, and really a shock. He was the other one of the other Facebook groups I'm an admin for. The Asylum does those virtual cons, and he was actually just on one of those like 3 weeks ago. And I mean, he took they generally do about 2 to 2.5 hours. He took like 4.5 hours, because there were people that wanted to talk to him and interact with him. And he never once came off as a dick, never once tried to hurry things up. He spent every second that a fan wanted to spend with him.
That's what you always hear. It's always the people that confront him after the con. Right. Like, everybody's like, yeah, I paid the money to go see him. Then you hear like, oh, it was like 2 hours after, or he was wrapping it up, and he still spent it. That's great. It's unbelievable. That's what you should do.
Right. Absolutely. And so a guy who definitely loved his fans, and we loved him. And
people always talk about like great big man workers, and they always bring up like, Boss Man and Akeem and guys like that. Or Vader, or everybody. It's like, and I've told Nick this in the past, that I don't know if he'd be considered it. To me, I always considered him a big man worker. I always thought the Animal was fucking fantastic in the ring. Mm-hmm. Like he had a fantastic drop kick, and
no, the drop kick wasn't fantastic. Don't even say that. The drop kick wasn't fantastic. It was very good for a guy his size, because it would be definitely in right above the rib cage kind of thing. It wouldn't be nowhere near Jim Ray. So don't even say that.
Being able to do that it's good. Okay, maybe not. Okay, since you're obviously you're a worker, so you know more than I do. But I just think that, like, when I watch like Road Warrior or LOD matches, I'm more entertained, and I know Hawk had the bigger, more charismatic personality, but to me, Animal was better. And
of course, think about this. Animal was the guy that had to squat the guy to do the finish. All Hawk had to do was jump off and knock the guy's head off.
Destroy the man, yes.
Right. All Animal was the guy that had to squat the guy. And they didn't always wrestle guys that were the size of the Midnight Express, or Tully and Arn.
Yeah, imagine putting Brian Knobbs up on your shoulders. I'm just saying.
That sounds like a good time on a Friday night, at the beginning of a joke or something, Brian Knobbs on your shoulders. Oh, Jesus.
It was Nasty Boy.
It was Nasty Boy. Pity City. All right. Well, that being said, again, rest in peace, Road Warrior Animal. And like I said, kind of shocking news. Didn't see it. Didn't see it coming, I guess, but
nobody did.
From everything I've read, just natural causes. I don't think they've alluded to the actual cause, just natural causes. So our condolences to his friends and family. And right now we'll roll into April 20th, 1993. Like we were talking about before we went on the air here, we disqualifying last week's awful episode of ECW. Chad put it as, I think, better than bad, this episode. It's better than bad.
Yeah, it definitely is better than last week.
We start out with always surprised Jay Sully and Stevie Wonderful on commentary as usual. Was it you, Aaron, that brought up that Sully always sounds like he's asking a question?
Yeah, everything
he's like always
Sully
surprised.
Said, like every time he speaks, it sounds like he's asking a question. He's like, "Welcome to ECW."
Yeah, he also does kind of look around too.
Yeah,
he's like, "Welcome to ECW."
Here's Jay, confused Sully.
I'm I'm with Stevie Wonderful.
And nothing speaks big time like they're announcing that they're the Cabrini College Fieldhouse. that spells big time all over it right there. We're here at the Cabrini fucking College Fieldhouse.
We definitely haven't reached 2,300 yet here, folks.
No.
Like,
that's why I wasn't at these shows, because I didn't know where hell. I never heard of these shows.
That one he was asking a question. We're at the Cabrini College Fieldhouse?
Yeah. Like, this is how big we are?
There's some people here?
There's some.
There's some. Yeah, a couple of those shots, there ain't many.
Dude, I got a note about something later on in the show, and I guarantee neither one of you two got it, picked it up.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, see, the matches are so kind of half-assed that I start digging around into the crowd and seeing what I could find.
Eddie Gilbert starts us out to make an apology, quote unquote, to Terry Funk. Yes. And Eddie, I really like these two together. I don't know what you guys think. I guess we haven't dug into it a lot, but I enjoy these two working together. I have had fun watching that.
Yeah. Oh, I love Terry and Eddie together. They've always been money together. It's just that this is like this is like gold, like in a shit mine or something. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to support it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's hard to stand out when nothing is good around it, and therefore it isn't that good. You know what I'm saying? It's just the best thing on the show. But yeah, I thought the opening was pretty good. It's just something about Gilbert at this time that it's off to me. Like maybe he's got too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's something about the way he kind of rushes his promos a little bit. I don't think it's just Gilbert at his best, and I think maybe they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Like,
yeah.
Where is this going?
We don't know where this is going yet, but it's going somewhere.
And I gotta say this. Stevie Wonderful, Jesus Christ. He's wearing a flowery vest, a no-collar shirt, and his jeans are tucked into his cowboy boots. It's like, what the fuck is going on with Stevie Wonderful?
Well, we found out he was the sound guy, and he was like, I think this is what a wrestler looks like. So that's what
looks like somebody put DDP in a dryer.
He's getting paid by. If he's the sound guy, is he getting paid by ECW or the station? I don't even know what's worse. Like, what would you want to get paid by? Todd Gordon or Sports Channel Philly? Which check is basically going to clear?
Probably moonlighting at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So we've got. Well, I guess we've established we've got Confused Sully and Dryer Dallas Page, right, Aaron? And that's Dryer our commentary team, Dryer Dallas Page. So we got the ECW Tag Team Champions. Who'd they ever beat? The Super Destroyers, with Hunter Q Robbins III against natural to put these two together, the Wolfman and the Super Ninja. I mean, what two wrestlers would go together better than the Wolfman and the Super Ninja? It's like it's like a Bela Lugosi or Bela Lugosi in the Abbott and Costello movie.
You know, the Wolfman is the guy that probably put that ring up.
Really?
Like he's one of the guys that do that ring rental for that ring. That's like his ring. There's 100% chance he put that ring up. And then when he was in the ring, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's fucking Dudley," and I know how quote unquote good he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, like, oh my God, they're gonna put him with the Super D's and everything. And then I go, who is the other guy, right? And then it took him a while before they said the Super Ninja. And then I'm thinking back in, like, who would it be? I mean, did you guys figure you were gonna ask me?
I said who was the fucking Super Ninja? Like, who is that? I have no
because I'm looking at it, and one of the people that I had it. And I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, but I thought it was. I wrote down Kevin Lawler,
mm-hmm.
but it wasn't until.
I think Super Ninja's a little too tall to be Kevin Lawler.
Yeah. He was bigger than Kevin Lawler. So I just threw it out there because I was trying to think of when Kevin Lawler, started. Mm-hmm. And that was closer to the time when Eddie was gone. That was towards the end of the summer. So that wasn't him. But, yeah, I have no idea who it was. It was probably Stetson or one of them Philly fucking jabroni, guys who do whatever.
Yeah, working twice in one night.
Yeah, and the Wolfman's terrible.
Oh, Wolfman was really terrible. And how about when one of the Super Destroyers just took the belt at the end of the match and just whipped the Wolfman out of the ring, who was just standing there selling on the ring apron. He just took the belt and he just whipped him. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, then there was a classic clothesline by one of the Super Destroyers too that I loved. Don't you love a clothesline where it's not nowhere near the neck?
Yeah. It's just an arm flailing into somebody.
I want to call the Wolfman with his stupid outfit and his fat. He's Joe LaPuke. That's what I want to call the Wolfman. Joe LaPuke.
Yeah. Well, geez, whiz. I mean, I'm not even sure who's even better. That's a whole different podcast. But I just love when somebody does a clothesline and hits him in the midsection. That just blows my mind that it's so indie.
I hate to do research while we're on the air, but I had to. So I checked it out, and apparently the Super Ninja in Extreme Championship Wrestling was Rick Michaels.
I don't even know who that is. I don't know who the fuck that is either. Is that his other gimmick?
Let me see. It doesn't. It looks like he worked in the Pro Wrestling Federation. Where is that at?
Ooh.
Probably the Northeast, I assume. And he even made a tag team later named the Super Ninjas with a Super Ninja 2. And he was also in NWA Wildside. So there we go. Mystery solved.
All right. So that was Burt Prentice. So
it's not really a mystery because nobody knows who fucking Rick Michaels is either. So.
I know. I think Rick Michaels is his other name.
It's kind of like
he probably got booked by Gilbert, and he said, "Look, I don't want to do a job as Rick Michaels, but I'll do a job as the Super Ninja."
Yeah,
that's probably how that worked.
And the Easter egg in this match,
the halitosis reference.
Yes. Oh, there it was. Yeah,
Terry Funk saying that Hunter Q. Robinson, he could smell his breath from ringside. He's a nasty motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Dude, I told them guys that I never dealt with it. I just heard about it, like kind of thing." And when Terry Funk said it, I was like, "Shoot!" I'm pretty sure I just yelled out in the living room, "Shoot!" That was unbelievable.
That was when he said it, I laughed my ass off. I think this is the first time I ever heard a asshole chant on wrestling television, because there was a pretty good asshole chant going on for Hunter Q. Robbins. And then Terry Funk attempts to interview halitosis and
Let's
Eddie
talk
Gilbert.
about the finish of the match. I mean, the Super Destroyers. Yes. I mean, you gotta go with the finish. The Super Destroyers win. And
really,
to the surprise of no one.
And that
because I literally wrote down. I wrote it in quotation marks, a hot tag to the Super Ninja. Like, he literally came in just to get beat. The other guy was in there taking a beating the whole entire time, but the Super Ninja, Rick Michaels, by the way, which it's rumored to be him, he comes in just to get beat.
Yeah, that fucking Wolfman, he gets beat up for like 8 minutes, and then Super Ninja tags in and gets like a sloppy on the mat senton bomb from one of the Super Destroyers, and it's over.
So I know I jumped the gun on the finish there, probably because I was not paying attention to it. But so now we move to the interview, Terry Funk and halitosis. And Eddie Gilbert out with a chair. Anything on the interview, guys? What was kind of an interview? A few words.
The Eddie Gilbert chair shot was terrible. That was completely atrocious. Like he wanted, like, you know how it is. It's one thing when you know you're going to, here he goes the helicopter again. It's one thing when you know you're going to hit the guy in the back, and you can swing hard at the guy's back, right? But Gilbert was so light that he wanted to swing the chair, but he lightened up before he finished delivering it and then released the chair. So there was no force at all behind it. Like he basically threw the chair at Terry Funk from like 3 feet away. Like I can't believe the damage that would have done.
Especially to a man of Terry Funk's caliber.
I couldn't believe that how bad like Gilbert would let that go. I mean, and then what's he going to do right after that? He's going to give him a couple of kicks, blah blah blah. Yeah, that to me was like that was terrible.
Yeah, it was 2 pros or 1 pro being kind of indie there. You know.
Yeah, but don't worry. Look at the as I wrote it down on my notes is a classic.
Aaron, anything on that segment from you?
Well, I'm just the thing I'll say about this episode is that at least Fitz kind of picking up, like they're accelerating storylines at least on it. Like you know, the first 2 episodes there's ECW, this is what we're doing, but like at least they're pushing things ahead. You know,
yeah,
what I mean?
and there's a running story going through the episode too.
They're trying,
which is yeah.
But I mean, but Eddie comes from. I don't know where I'm gonna bring it up. Oh yeah, it comes in later on. But there's some things that Eddie's doing that are in Philadelphia that would work in Memphis, but not Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll come up later on. And I was like, man, you got to be careful how you build this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down the line we're going to get into the King of Philly stuff. That's for future episodes. Up next we have Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Tommy Cairo.
The Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. Jimmy Snuka. I have that down here too. I was like, and he's introduced as the Eye of the Tiger, Jimmy Snuka, which I was like, it says Eye of the Tiger, question mark.
Yeah.
That's the TV title tournament.
What's that?
It's a TV title tournament match.
Yes.
Oh, this is like no, it's not the final. It's the semifinal.
Semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jimmy Snuka versus Iron Man Tommy Cairo, and I'll say this: out of the last 3 episodes, well, not the last 3, but like the 3 episodes he'd watched, this is actually the best match that I've seen on ECW so far. That's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah, that bar really is really so high. The one thing I took away from this match, and the one thing, well, 2 things was the fact that Jimmy Snuka thought way more highly of Tommy Cairo than he did of me. As we'll get to see later on when we watch me and Snuka, because he did a lot more for him than he did for me. And another thing I noticed was the referee John Finnegan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that him? I was talking to him earlier because I haven't remember seeing him on any of the older shows. I've been seeing that guy it looks like Rob Feinstein, you know, with the black hair.
Not Mo.
And John said trivia question. The only 2 people that have been there from day one in ECW, besides Todd Gordon when it really started, was him and Jim Mulliner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only 2 people that have been there from day one.
From beginning to end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Finnegan go to the WWE when they did ECW too?
No, I don't
remember.
I don't think he did. I think when the ECW that we know it as ended, I think that was pretty much it. And he may have did some indies or whatever.
That's what I was saying like the other day, that it'd be interesting to get one of those guys or both of them to talk to him because they sell all of it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, I'm guessing I could probably get in touch with John because we're friends, and and see if he would love to come on. That's what I was trying to talk to him earlier about. And another thing that I wrote down about the Jimmy Snuka what's his name? Tommy Cairo. I always called him Tommaso Cairo. The other thing I wrote down was, why wasn't Snuka wearing the tiger masks? because of his fast lucha style. Oh my God, that guy, man!
Lumbering doesn't cover it.
God, it was just brutal. And then at the end of the match, when Snuka won, no big deal. He gave him the splash, which he didn't give me. All I got was a suplex that he didn't even take a bump for. And then one of the announcers called him Airborne now. He's Airborne Jimmy Snuka.
The Airborne?
Going into the match, he was the Eye of the Tiger. Leaving now, he's Airborne.
Did he, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm wrong, or the announcers just completely, absolutely ignored and missed. Did he use Nux? Or did he just use a fist?
No, Gilbert used him.
Yeah, okay. Because I put here that the announcers completely missed it. They didn't even make reference to the fact that there was a foreign object used at all.
I think it wasn't the fact that he used it. I think it was the fact that Eddie Gilbert got up on the ring apron. Like that caused the confusion to allow everything to happen. But yeah, I think you're right. It wasn't like, and he didn't even do like Lawler, where he showcases the hand in the air.
No.
Everybody can see it. He kind of just reached in his pants and pulled out a fucking, whatever. Yeah, I totally agree. It was that was kind of crazy to me.
And Johnny Hotbody was involved.
Yes. Who?
Well, Jesus is what
a head of hair on that guy, huh?
I mean, you're taping 4 weeks of TV one day. I mean, seriously, you got to find something for everybody.
Oh shit, that's funny. All right, so now
and actually, the announcers did bring it up. They did bring it up. Yeah, because Jay Sully goes like fucking full
Gene Okerlund
Crockett.
No,
and like yells at the heels and brings up the fact that they used the.
Well, I meant during the match. I'm sorry. I guess I didn't clarify. During the call, they didn't bring it up. But yeah, I have here. You said Crockett. I said Sully Okerlund's Gilbert here. Like, put that cigarette out. That kind of a thing.
Yeah, classic.
No, Sully.
Yeah, it was weird.
On the show.
Like literally, I'm watching it, so I really don't need the two fucking ham bones to tell me what's going on. I see what's going on, so I don't need them to describe it. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it was really acknowledged. I think it was more or less that Gilbert was getting involved, not as much as what he actually did.
Right.
That's what I think, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Fuck, I'm halfway drinking all the time.
All right, go ahead, Aaron. I think you had a thought there on this promo.
It was just, like I said, Sully's terrible. I can't wrap my mind around Jay Sully. He's just
can't wait for Joey to show up, right?
Yeah, Joey needs to be here right now. I just hate Jay. I hate Jay Sully.
All right, so now we move into our next match, which involves Eddie Gilbert against Aaron's favorite ECW star, Glenn Osborne.
Giant midget.
He's the fucking madman from the Badlands. Get out of here. Madman from the Badlands was everybody's from. It's right outside of parts unknown, I'm assuming. I'm the madman from the Badlands.
It's the suburb of
giant midget.
Me and the Ascension, we get all painted up on Friday and Saturday night. Well, fuck, we just go, I love Glenn Osborne. I just hate them gimmicks. They're just so stupid. The growler, What the fuck? You look so dumb when you lose with your face all painted. And you got to walk back to the locker room. And it's
with the paint half coming off your face.
I love Glenn. I think Glenn's a great guy. I just don't like them gimmicks, but I can say whatever the fuck I want. But my take on this match is that Gilbert, because it was a long TV match that meant something, is that Gilbert tried working a Memphis style match. He tried working a Memphis style house show match on a TV program. which was completely too long because it's a shit ton of stalling. It's a shit ton of walking and talking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's playing. It's too much playing to the audience in your presence than the audience on your television.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the audience that was there because there wasn't an audience. I mean, it's not. I'm not even saying that as a joke. It wasn't like you had like 3,000 people, you know, like you would have like at the, you know, Evansville Coliseum or Louisville or whatever, where you can get away with that shit.
Right.
You're trying to get away with doing bigger venue matches in a smaller venue, and you're trying to put it on TV for crying out loud. You know what I mean? And another thing is, what happened to Gilbert being busted open?
Right, yeah. Apparently this match was either recorded before or I don't know. But yeah, I noticed that too. But you're right about the Memphis thing too. Like there's a reason that those the Mid-South Coliseum matches, when they were shown on TV, were shown in clip form. And you never got to see the whole match because
there was there was probably 7 matches on the show. You know, and the show was maybe 2.5 hours. So every match had 25, you know, 20, at least 20 minutes.
Right. Aaron, your thoughts on this one?
Well, Tigra's pointless.
Oh, no, she's not. I mean, she's like a very talented person that just stands there in the corner. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Todd Gordon put out some contest where they're going to have, hey, the winner of this contest gets to be the girl that just stands in the corner.
Or he just found a girl that was already on a corner.
Yeah, she was on the corner. Right on the corner.
Like, you know how to work. This bitch knows how to work a corner. Let's put her out there. You know,
well, I mean, some of the things I heard about Todd Gordon. I kid about that. No, I don't know. I'm not saying anything about Todd. But yeah, Tigers was just standing there, like not doing anything.
Nothing.
And Eddie had to like make a point about her.
Yeah,
you know?
She was pointless, and I thought the match was all right. And like I said, this was again fucking Jay Sully going fucking full David Crockett and going against the heel and
with the finish and everything. I actually wrote down here after the finish, Sully is a rat.
He's a stooge.
But the Knucks get involved again in this one.
Well, we're still talking about the Gilbert Osborne thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, what I wrote was, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, go ahead, Chad.
Well, I mean, what I wrote was it was a way to give Gilbert, have Gilbert lose, or Gilbert win and not hurt like Glenn, or however it went. You know what I'm saying? It was a safe way out. I can't read my fucking handwriting now.
Well, like Gilbert
I
won
do
the
remember
match.
I do remember what you said. Huh?
Gilbert won the match by cheating, and then fucking Jay Sully went David Crockett and went against the heel
you're right.
And announced that fucking Gilbert cheated, and then the ref found the Knucks and gave it to fucking Osborne. It's fucking stupid. I thought it was
yeah. That's exactly what I meant. Like that was a way to have Gilbert lose, kind of deal, and not screw anybody in the ref, kind of deal. And that was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But again, it's too Memphis-y.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, maybe not you, but it was for me. It was too Memphis-y to have the, they got the Knucks, blah, 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 reverse decision.
Yeah. It was convoluted.
Yeah, it was just too Memphis-y, with not enough people, Had it been a bigger crowd, maybe a different.
What would it hurt to have fucking Eddie Gilbert lose in a match to Glenn Osborne in front of 30 people?
Dude, you could do there's probably 6 or 7 referee spots that I know that could have him lose, on a banana peel, or kind of thing, I mean, just start with that. Not even the opponent. Take the opponent out of it. It's just I could pin Eddie Gilbert with the referee spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what his logic was, but maybe this was
being as he is
the demise of Eddie Gilbert.
Being as he is the resident heel of the promotion, not somebody that's just coming in for one or two tapings where you want to get them over because you want them, like you said the first week, these are the guys you put on the poster. But Eddie, being the resident heel of the small promotion, can afford to lose because he's going to come back next week. He can get his heat back.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he produces the show. I mean, when you see the graphics at the end of it, what do you see? Producer Thomas Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
So, like Aaron said, kind of convoluted. I didn't mention during the. I'm sorry, I want to go back here a minute. I think we got caught up on the finish, or I got us caught up on the finish. But earlier on, I think that Gilbert does a pretty fun Terry Funk impersonation. By the way,
He tries, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He had the voice isn't spot on, but he definitely has the cadence down and everything. I thought I did write that down though, and then I forgot to cover it. But yeah,
he does he hits the first 3/4 of a sentence down.
Yeah,
before you can tell it's really not funk. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good. I thought it was funny. Yeah, because at one point I'm listening to it, I'm just going, oh, because I kind of turn my head or whatever, and I'm like, that ain't Terry Funk.
He extends the right word and all. I mean, yeah, he did. I thought he did a good job with that.
Yeah, I thought he did.
It's pretty funny in my notes because it's on the next page, but I put that I was going to ask you guys what your impressions of Eddie Gilbert's Terry Funk impersonation.
Well, there we go. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty funny.
I can't do one, man. I don't know how you say it. I don't even know. Dolst, I can't even begin to do it. Can you?
Nope.
The only impression I can do is the Iron Sheik. But seriously.
All right, so we have I lost my. Okay, Rockin' Rebels next, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the word "oh boy" is on my notes.
Love me some Rockin' Rebel, and I love Rockin' Rebel.
Did you notice on the network it says Frank Cody has a match?
Yeah, he gets the Benoit treatment. He gets the Benoit treatment and whatever. But I think Rockin' Rebel is fantastic, or was fantastic. I like the Rockin' Rebel.
Did you love it when he was talking to Peaches and he was like, "Look at me," and he was trying to compare him to the Sandman? He goes, "And I got the hair."
I got the hair, and he flipped his mullet.
Yeah, and I was thinking the audacity. Jesus, you're promoting that hair. Yeah, Rebel's a classic to me. I always will, man. I don't know, man. I take that whole stuff a different way than everybody. I don't know. But yeah, Rebel's a classic.
As a performer and as a wrestler and everything, I enjoy the Rockin' Rebel.
No, it was terrible as a performer and as a wrestler. I'm just talking about as a human being. I don't understand what the fuck happened. He was awful. Yeah, it was terrible. Come on. Don't even kid yourself.
I like Rockin' Rebel. I like the guy.
I'm going to be sad when he's not on the show anymore because I don't get to hear you two debate the Rockin' Rebel every week again.
Oh, no, he's still around for a while.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, he's still got a few months left. Don't worry about it.
He Bill Cosby's himself onto Peaches.
Mm-hmm.
Is this right around when the Sandman stumbles in?
Yeah.
To the ring?
Big boogie board or what?
Yeah. What the hell?
Literally, was it me or did the Sandman try to do the deal where he dives through the bottom rope, or did he try to dive through?
I think he tried. Honestly, I think he tried to ride the surfboard through the ropes.
No,
I really think he tried to do that.
No way he tried that.
If you watch it, I think that's what he fucking tried to do. I think he thought he was going to scoot through the ropes on the fucking surfboard.
He was either trying to like throw the surfboard in over the top of the bottom rope.
I swear,
slide in, but he just rolled all the way in, like, you know.
I don't want to disrespect you, but I think he thought he was gonna ride that fucking surfboard into the ring. I really think that's what his fat ass thought he was gonna do.
All right, I'll take your word for it, but
I think he was boogie boarding his way into the ring, man.
He was trying to dynamic. He was trying to dynamic.
That was the iconic
dudes. That shit.
Spot. That was the iconic opening spot, right? Isn't that an opening where Sandman does the surfboard spot?
Yeah,
that was in the opening. And then here's where I got my little caveat. I even got little stars next to it on my notes. If you look behind where Sandman's getting beat up, there's a to the right hand side. That's basically the front door of the ECW arena. That's where Kathy Fitzpatrick would be taking the money at. Good friend. And if you look, I swear I wrote, "Is that a midget?" There's a midget sitting there swinging their legs. There's no fans on that side of the building, but like 4. And I'm going, "Is that a midget?" While the Sandman's getting demolished by the Rockin' Rebel. So you can tell me where this show is going. Like, I'd pay money to come back next Friday night to see the midget.
See the midget again. I didn't even. Well, you said we probably wouldn't have noticed that. I did not notice that.
Dude, that's how great the angle was going. That I'm looking in the background, because if you go back and look, because the way they did the seating, it's like if you look to the right of the camera, there's nothing over there. And there was just like 7 or 8 people sitting in chairs, and I'm going, this fucking guy's arms are long, but his legs are swinging. Like, that's a midget.
It's Glenn Osborne.
Well, it was a mini Osborne, which is apparently coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yes, our main event of the show.
Oh, good Lord.
Glenn Osborne and Jimmy Snuka tearing this little house down with a TV title tournament final. Go ahead, Aaron. Give us the details.
Yeah, come on, Aaron.
Yeah, there's not much.
You make the first move.
Todd Gordon's on commentary, and
with the spines and suspensions.
Yes.
Yeah, with the spines and suspensions. Eddie Gilbert yells at him, and they have a back and forth thing. It was a tournament that, honestly, if anybody looking at it that had a fucking brain would know the outcome of.
This is true.
Did you hear when Todd Gordon, when he was talking about his fines and suspensions, that he said something? I'm tired of all the surfboards, women, and stairs. And I'm thinking, what fucking guy would say that? Like, I heard him say that. I'm going, yeah, surfboards, women. I don't even know what the stairs could be, but what the fuck? I mean, if you're into the surfboards and the women,
so I'm good.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And fucking Jimmy Snuka is your new TV champion in a really shitty match.
I wrote literally that Osborne is so indie. And then, that's pretty much all I could write, because it was literally, I thought that Jimmy Snuka did way more with him. Well, he did way more with him than he did with me, clearly, because he actually left his feet and stuff. And I thought that Snuka, that's the splash, I wrote that it was a very good splash, because he nailed Glenn Osborne. And Glenn's got a big chest, so, he could take it. You really got to be like ready for it when he hits you. And like I said, he never gave it to me, but my friends are like, dude, it hurts like a motherfucker. Because he doesn't do anything to protect you. He's literally using you, as the crash pad. Right. So you better be ready to put, tuck your shit in and be ready. And I thought that was that was one of his better independent splashes that I've seen.
I've said it before, and I can never remember, because I know that one of the And again, I just remember from reading mags back in the day, but I remember Metal Maniac and I think Glenn Osborne being those two guys that I always saw in results on East Coast shows with Snuka. So maybe that was it. Maybe they worked together a lot. You know, maybe they had a rapport.
Metal Maniac. Metal Maniac was basically his liaison. Like, he'd be the guy that would be calling all the promoters trying to get Jimmy work. Okay. And they would pretty much sell it as a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll get you Jimmy. You bring me in, and me and Jimmy work.
Yeah.
And but as far as Glenn, I don't know nothing about that.
Okay.
Know? But boy, the Jimmy Snuka Metal Maniac matches, man.
I don't.
Good
I have. Remember those? Remember those DVDs they did in? It was probably during or just after the Attitude Era. You know, whenever anybody who had 6 minutes of pro wrestling footage they owned wanted to release a DVD or a VHS or whatever, you know, to capitalize on the popularity of wrestling. But they had those DVDs that came in really thin cases. They were like Pro Wrestling's Greatest or whatever, but they were only like 45 minutes long, and it would be some shitty Nikolai Volkov indie match or something.
Ooh.
And that's I'll have to find that, and I have it somewhere.
It wouldn't be some shitty Nikolai Volkov match. It would be just any.
Yes, okay. Touche, good sir. But I think one of those DVDs actually has a Snuka Metal Maniac match on it. I'll have to go back and find it and see if I can find it around here.
Like literally, he's been reaching out to me for the last couple of years. Like, you know, I know Jeff. I don't have a problem with Jeff or anything, but he keeps trying to find this tape of a show that we ran in Maryland. I don't even know what year it was. Maybe it was 2008, 9, 10 or whatever. And we had Barbarian on it. And Metal Maniac was on it. It was a bought show. We had like a bunch of big names on it. And Metal Maniac somehow got on Facebook and reached out to me, and he's asked me about this show, and he told me that Barbarian was looking for it because it was a good match.
I think he's working.
And I just said, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously? I mean, Barbarian's calling you going, hey, man, I had this match. Like,
hey, brother, I want that match.
Yeah. And I knew I didn't have it because I wasn't there. I mean, I just knew I didn't have it. And I'm just like, there's no way. He's like, hey, brother, if you find it, you know, Barb said he really wants it. And I was just like, I know, clearly. You know, if Barb wasn't that bad, Barb can call me. And then, you know, I'll call Bob Starr, who probably has it. But yeah, I don't think Barb's the one that's looking.
I was about to say, of all the matches available put to the public with the Barbarian in them, I doubt he's trying to hunt down that match.
Yeah, the same guy who was in Paul Jones's Army wants to see his match at a high school in Western Maryland in front of 1,200 people. Yeah, I don't think that's his crown jewel.
So we find out after this match that next week Don Morocco is going to be joining us.
Yes, which I'm looking forward to.
Me too. You know, say what you will about Don Morocco, whoever's out there, but Don Morocco is I love a Don Morocco promo, and it doesn't matter which Don Morocco I'm getting. I would just watch him cut promos. He doesn't even have to wrestle, you know, at this point. But
this clearly ain't a spoiler or anything, but doesn't Morocco come in being in the same group with Snuka?
Yes. Yeah. He's
okay. I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. So next week, when we do next week's show, can we erase this week's show? by setting a new level of bad or whatever? Because how the hell could you expect? Is Gilbert stupid? I don't know. I mean, how the hell are you going to tell me you're going to put Morocco and Snuka in the same group?
Right.
And people go like, "What the hell is this?"
Without even any, I don't think there's even any tease. Like, there's not even a. When we see it, we'll know. But I don't recall there ever even being a tease where they act like they're going to go to blows with each other and then hug or anything like that. I think he just shows up and he's with them. But I guess we'll see next week, won't we? Yeah, all is forgotten, brother. Here in this gym.
What was the pay-per-view or that? Who was it? Was it Snooker Morocco or who did the bury the hatchet match? The bury the hatchet thing with Snooker or something?
Was that
one
Piper?
of them? I mean, one of them jabroni pay-per-views like Heroes of Wrestling or was it Bob Orton?
I think
Bob
so.
Orton and Snuka fought on that Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view, and that thing's fucking terrible.
What about the one with the card game where they had a card game, and then
that's the Heroes of Wrestling.
That was Heroes of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a classic.
Let me do a shameless plug here real quick. For those of you listening to this show that do not listen to the We Can't Wrestle podcast, find the We Can't Wrestle podcast, go back into our archives. We have an episode where we cover that Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view and what an abortion that was. God, it was terrible. Terrible. It's maybe the worst wrestling pay-per-view ever. I mean, Uncensored 95 is pretty bad, but that that might be the worst wrestling pay-per-view ever.
Arcade 91, whatever.
Oh.
The one in Baltimore.
That's bad.
There's a lot of bad ones. But
in the Arcade 91, they make fucking Jushin Liger team with Mike Graham.
As they should have. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. Seriously, didn't Buddy Lee Parker team up with freaking PN News or something?
Yeah, something like that. Fucking
what a quality tag team that was. Yeah, you wonder why nobody bought that shit. Good God.
And fucking at the end of this ECW show, fucking Stevie Wonderful's trying to get with Terry Funk, but he winds up at fucking Sandman's locker room, and Peaches answers the door. And the biggest thing I got from it was that fucking Stevie Wonderful and Peaches have the same fucking haircut.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't have that exact thing written down, but I wrote a classic recap with Stevie Wonder. Peaches is clearly from the West Coast, and that hair is what I wrote. God, they're waiting for the doctor. They're waiting for the doctor to do what? The doctor should already be in there. If not, let Stevie Wonderful in there. What is he going to see? I don't fucking
right.
But that's the same. If you notice, when this ship goes forward and we go episode to episode, you're going to start seeing them doors more and more often.
Mm-hmm.
I know about them doors. Like literally behind that, in a couple months, you're going to start seeing Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond behind them doors. And all the ECW superstars are going to be behind them doors. Them two doors. The one that says dressing room and the one that says whatever, keep out.
Press. Yeah.
Yeah.
Press.
That's like I don't know where. I never been to the building. I parked outside of the building where they taped him at,
mm-hmm.
and I never went in. But yeah, they must have had the smallest set made for this, where it's just literally it's just two doors, that open up, and everybody's going to be in there. Wait, as we watch more episodes.
And it's the same doors. How many promos are cut in front of those doors as time goes on, Yeah.
You wait, everybody's behind them doors. And it's not like I don't know. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm telling you, it's not until and from what I believe, this is what I believe, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I think when Paul got sideways with I want to say it was Matt Raddick or whatever, Matt Radico or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and he got behind in the money that he wouldn't give Paul the tapes, the originals.
Okay.
So Paul had to go out and find somebody else. Hence, we'll see in a few months where the quality changes.
Mm-hmm. And so overall, I know, Chad, you said better than bad. But overall, what'd you think, guys, of this here episode?
If you compare it,
Championship Wrestling,
I'd say if you compare it to the first two shows,
don't say it.
It's not that bad. They at least.
I agree. I mean, I think that it's baby steps.
They furthered some storylines with the Gilbert and Funk thing and Rock and Rebel and Sandman, and they
squashed the whole TV title thing, got that done.
Yeah, and
get that out of the way.
And I don't think it was a bad show. Like, I didn't walk out of this 45 minutes thinking, well, I wasted my time. I thought it was pretty decent.
Well, mine's only 38. I don't know how you're watching it.
All right,
38 minutes. I mean, did it like I said? I think I agree. They did the best they could with what they had to work with, and I believe that we are coming to the end of these tapings at the Cabrini College Fieldhouse place. But like I said, if they're taking baby steps, they're taking special needs baby steps. they need to really make me want to watch next week, because as of right now, I'm just going, wow, do I really want to see Glenn Osborne seek revenge? I don't
revenge.
I'm just saying, like the couple angles they had were like the Terry Funk, Eddie Gilbert angles, not bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just trickling. They're taking baby steps.
And they established that Rock and Rebel wants to force himself on Peaches, and Sandman doesn't like it. It's not bad. And fucking Johnny Hotbody and Tommy Cairo, they're trying to do something with that, but it's just kind of there. I mean, it's not bad. They let you know what their 3 fucking angles are, and they didn't do a bad job at it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just that I think the main guys you say were so much of a staple in that area for so long that there's really it's just like, oh yeah, they're going to be on the show anyway. Sandman and Rebel and all the guys, they're just the guys that are on every show. Yeah, I mean, I thought they did fine for trying to advance storylines and all. I just, it is what it is to me. Like, God damn, something like the Sandman stumbling through the ropes, kind of. If
you watch it, man, I'm telling you, if you watch it, he tried to fucking ride that surfboard through the ropes.
Okay,
I swear to fucking God, if you watch it, he tried to.
All I'm just saying is, do I want this guy to come try to make a save for me if I'm in trouble?
He was standing behind that curtain with a vision in his head of this glorious
I'm gonna ride this goddamn board through the middle ropes, and he tried to fucking do it. And God bless him, but it was fucking.
Yeah, I mean, so I give the show. I mean, I clearly give it an A for effort, because you're only working with, if you ain't trying to build a, you're only working with what you have, and it's kind of like on a budget. So you're trying to get everybody in, and I love the fact that you're putting Snooker with a guy like Osborne. Not that I think Osborne is the guy, but putting over a local guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Featuring a local guy against a name.
Mm-hmm.
God, that match was bad. I think, that match was not
overall.
Good.
Overall,
I think I would have booked the. Sorry, I think I would have booked. I would have. Not looking at it right now, but like if I'm booking that tournament, like I would have made the finals fucking Snuka versus Tommy Cairo. I think that would have been a better final, but that's just me.
I probably would have had JT in there, but I don't know, maybe. But
was
Cairo,
he around?
Yeah, he was in the tournament. But Cairo was billed as undefeated. So when Snuka beat him, it really just pretty much killed him, because it wasn't like it took Snuka 25 minutes to beat Tommy Cairo.
Right.
And it wasn't like he did that, but they were building this whole entire Tommy Cairo winning streak. And then Snuka just squashes him, whatever, with the thing. And I'm just like, wow. And then they even made a point to announce the fact that his unbeaten streak is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck was that?
That should have been the final of it.
Yeah.
What's that?
That should have been the finals. Like, it shouldn't have been Snuka beating Tommy Cairo in the fucking semifinals. It should have been Snuka beating Tommy Cairo in the
finals
of the tournament and letting Johnny Hotbody interfere, and then you can.
I'm not 100% sure what I would have done, but I think if Eddie Gilbert really had his way to do something, and I probably think this would have been more based upon how well Snuka was willing to work, I would have did something where them two would have been them two in the finals, and then Eddie trying to convince Snuka,
put him, yeah.
And then you could do a deal where no matter what, I mean, there's 5 different ways 10 different ways you could do it, where you can put whoever you want over to whatever you want over, and you have all the challengers going, wait a minute, like, this is crap, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I think I would have done, because that would have made Gilbert seem more like a fucking chicken shit, and Snuka looking like, do I want this belt or do I want to be aligned with this fucking idiot?
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah, you could have won a million different ways. I mean, but there's a million different ways you could have did it. They just didn't do it any of them ways. They did it their way. I mean, I ain't saying it's bad. You put the belt on Snuka, and in my opinion, it was erased the whole entire tournament. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the whole, why are you doing this? Establish your people now,
Exactly.
No, that's my opinion. I don't like tournaments for companies that don't fucking have any,
history.
Yeah. Who the fuck knows who the Super Destroyers are? Fuck.
At least with the Super Destroyers, they were just like, these are our tag team champions. Here you go.
Yeah, they just told you they were the champions. But yeah, I mean, you don't run a TV show for 3 weeks and you're being in the middle of a TV title tournament. Good God.
Until last week, we didn't even have TV. And here's our TV title.
Yeah, that to me is kind of senseless. But yeah, I gave the show overall on a scale, if I was grading it like high school, I would say it was a C- because it had moments. It had flight.
I gave it about a half, like a 3 out of 5, just because I did like the running story between Gilbert and Funk throughout the show. That entertained me. And I mean, there were some fun moments in here. The matches, the funny thing about this show to me was the matches were the biggest problem with it. Like, a lot of the story and everything and all that wasn't too bad, but the matches. There wasn't a match I really enjoyed on this show.
I gave it a 3 out of 5 too, and I actually liked this show, and I thought they did enough in it to push forward what the stories they're trying to say. And I kind of like the fact that Rebel busted the board over Sandman's head. I like that little angle. I don't know. I might be stupid. I don't know, but I enjoyed it.
So next week, go ahead, Chad.
It definitely was. It definitely was what it was. I think we all can agree that it was somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
And given what it was, that it was what it is what it was. I agree. Whoever said that the matches were the biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you condense them matches to do whatever, and then it's all just promos, packages, blah blah blah, that show would have been a solid, I don't know, fucking B or however fuck. You know what I mean?
Yep. So according to the WWE Network, just so that you guys, you listeners know, and my fellow co-hosts know what we have to look forward to next week on the April 27th, 1993 edition of ECW. Don Morocco and ECW TV champion Jimmy Snuka join forces with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Plus, the Rockin' Rebel challenges the Sandman for the ECW Heavyweight Championship.
Shit.
The Suicide Blondes debut against Tommy Cairo and JT Smith. And that's what they have listed. So that's what we have to look forward to.
Suicide Blondes. Is that Candido?
Chris Michaels and somebody.
It's not
Candido?
It's not Candido at first. No, it might be. Is it John? It's not Johnny Hotbody, is it?
Yeah,
but I know Chris Michaels.
Yeah,
is in the team.
it's Chris Michaels and Johnny Hotbody, I think.
Okay.
Because Johnny Hotbody's trying to like sell himself as a blonde, even though he isn't.
Well, we'll find
Apparently
out
has
next
hair.
week.
Yes, we will.
Good Lord.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Any parting thoughts here?
Just how awesome is Chris Candido, but he's later on in the show.
Chad, any parting thoughts for our listeners this week?
No, I just want everybody to support the 2300 pod. Go on to Facebook and join the group. And anybody who wants to follow me, I'm at Chad Hoover Demera on Twitter, and I'm Chad Austin Demera on Facebook. And you guys, anything you want to plug? I mean,
Chad's Video Vault, maybe?
Yeah, no. Chad's Video Vault is much like Cornette's Collectibles. It is closed.
I'm still waiting for my Portland stuff, buddy.
So is everybody. I am way backlogged on Chad's Video Vault, but go look at go check out Roy Lucier. I don't know. It's like Lucifer without the F on YouTube, and check out his YouTube and Daily Motion page. It's tapes that I've uploaded or I had burnt and sent to him that he can upload, like Japan stuff and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, just follow the 2300 and spread the word, guys. I mean, I'm doing my best.
We are looking forward to this journey as it continues. And like I said, next week, ladies and gentlemen, join us for the April 27th, 1993 edition of ECW. And we will see you next week on the 2300 pod.